Hello and welcome to Drpeel Music Channel, the talk series, my podcast. I'm really glad to see you here. Today's episode is called Pedal Nerd. And yes, if that title already made you smile a little, this one's for you. This is a solo episode, no interviews, no demos, no sponsors, just me and a microphone and a deep dive into the subject that most guitar players either proudly embrace or secretly are. Because let's be honest, if you ever spent more time reading about pedals than actually playing guitar, if you ever said, I don't need another dry pedal, and then immediately bought one anyway. If you are ever rearranged your pedal board at midnight just to see if it feels better, you might be a pedal nerd. And that's not an insult, it's a badge of honor. So today I want to talk about what it really means to be a pedal nerd, why we love pedals so much, and the psychology behind the chasing tone. When it becomes inspiring and when it becomes distracting, and how to stay creative without losing your mind or your money for that sake. No rules, no judgment, just pedals, tone and curiosity. Let's get into it. What is a pedal nerd? Yeah, that's a good question. It's not just someone who owns pedals. Plenty of guitar players own a tube screamer or a delay and never think about it again. A pedal nerd is someone who knows the difference between buffered bypass and true bypass, has opinions about op amps, cares about where the fuzz goes in the signal chain, and has absolutely said the sentence, "It's subtle, but it feels better." A pedal nerd doesn't just use pedals. They research them. They watch comparison videos. They read forums from 2009 and whatever. They know which version of a pedal was made in which factory, in which year, with which clipping diodes. And maybe most importantly, a pedal nerd enjoys the process as much as the result. Because for us, pedals are not just tools, they are tiny creative machines. Why pedals are so fascinating? Pedals are fascinating because they sit right between the technology and the emotion. They're simply on the surface. You plug in a guitar, you turn on a knob, something changes. But underneath, it's electronics, physics, psychology, history, and taste, all at once. A distortion pedal isn't just distortion. It's compression, harmonics, it's feel under the fingers, the way notes bloom, the way chords collapse or open up. And here's the key thing. Pedals change how you play. A slapback delay makes you play differently. A fuzz makes you play differently. A compressor absolutely makes you play differently, whether you realize it or not. That's why pedals are so addictive. They're not just sound shaping tools. They are inspiration triggers. The tone chase. Healthy or unhealthy? Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the tone chase. We all know it. The feeling that one more pedal will unlock something. The missing piece, the sound in your head. Sometimes the tone chase is incredibly healthy. It teaches you how your amp reacts, how gain stages interact, how EQ actually works, how small changes matter. But sometimes it becomes procrastination disguised as productivity, because it's easier to buy a pedal than to practice, and easier to tweak than to commit, and easier to chase the tone than to write a song. So here's the uncomfortable truth. No pedal will fix unclear musical ideas. But this is important, that doesn't mean pedals are a waste of time. It just means that we need to be honest with ourselves about why we are chasing tone. Pedal nerds versus just play the guitar people. There's a classic divide in the guitar world. On one side, just plug straight into the amp, tone is in the fingers, you don't need all that stuff. On the other side, pedal nerds, signal chains, patch cables, power supplies, and spreadsheets. So here's my take then. Both sides are right, and both sides are missing the point. Because pedals don't replace technique, and technique doesn't replace curiosity. Pedals are not cheating, they are choices. And great players use whatever inspires them. Sometimes that's a cable straight into the cranked amp, or sometimes it's a board with 12 pedals and a MIDI controller. The problem isn't the pedal, the problem is the losing intention. Gain, fuzz, and why we can't stop. Let's talk about gain pedals for a moment. Overdrive, distortion, fuzz. Why do we need so many? Because gain is emotional, it's not logical. One fuzz can sound too loose, too tight, too spitty, too polite, too angry, not angry enough. And fuzz especially, fuzz is chaos, fuzz is personality, and fuzz is relationship. You don't use a fuzz pedal, you learn how to behave around it. And that's why pedal nerds love gain pedals, they feel alive. When pedal nerdiness becomes a superpower. Pedal nerdiness becomes a superpower when you understand your tools. You stop chasing better and start choosing different. You know why something works for you. When you reach that point, pedals stop being distractions. They become extensions of your voice. You don't need everything, you need your things. And once you know them, you stop constantly searching. Not because you're done, but because you're grounded. Practical advice for pedal nerds. Here are some few grounding tips. From one pedal nerd to another. Limit yourself on purpose. One board, one amp, one guitar for a while. Change one thing at a time. If everything changes, nothing is learned. Record yourself. Your ears lie, recordings don't. Ask, does this inspire me? Not, is this better? Remember why you started. It was probably music, not gear. Being a pedal nerd isn't about owning things. It's about curiosity, about listening, about caring. And in the world that often rushes past details, caring about small things is kind of beautiful. So if you are a pedal nerd, welcome. You're among friends. So this has been Drpeel Music, the talk series with the pedal nerd episode, and thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to follow, share, and hit like and subscribe if you did. And keep listening, and see you soon. Thank you and goodbye.